Now on to my top 10 Wii games, because again, I feel like the Wii doesn't have any more games coming out, because I'm pretty sure the Wii U is going to release here in 2012, and basically after Zelda, that thing, that was the last major game on there. Anything else I don't think is worthy enough to make the top 10, so top 10 Wii games, as I've mentioned in every other one of these videos. Put a comment of what games you like, maybe make a video response if you feel so dastardly. Do whatever you want, this is just my opinion, so on and so forth, disclaimers, etc., etc. Enjoy the video. Topping off the list is I had to choose a Kirby game, which was between Epic Yarn and Return to Dreamland, and when you weigh them together, as you can obviously, Epic Yarn wins, because it did something new and innovative, whereas Return to Dreamland stuck to the old formula and added multiplayer co-op, which is pretty fun in itself, and forget about that one. We're talking about Epic Yarn here. Epic Yarn is a game where you don't have a health bar. You cannot die. It's definitely for the casual player, but it's just so damn cute and fun, It's got that Kirby flavor, but not that Kirby flavor. Yeah, that makes sense. But you go around as Kirby, you pull stuff with your yarn, you got all these fabric gameplay tactic things going on, you can transform into things, you gotta collect stuff, you can make your own little house thing, you can do little side missions, and of course, with Kirby games, if you're a perfectionist, you gotta get all kinds of shit. It's just overall very fun game, very neat, very interesting, and just a nice little fresh take on the Kirby formula. Next on the list, I had to choose a Metroid game, naturally, because you gotta get the big franchises in your top 10 list, and I wasn't going to choose other M because Metroid Prime 3 is on the way, which is, dare I say, superior. Metroid Prime 3, the final game in the trilogy of the Prime series, is definitely my favorite out of the three. It works well with the Wii controls, it's one of the few games I actually like the Wii controls in. You aim the arm cannon, which is why they released the complete series on the Wii, by the way. But Metroid Prime 3, you aim, you shoot, you use your visor, you learn stuff, there's a mythos, there's this nice atmosphere, new enemies, old enemies, Ridley, just all kinds of interesting things going on, new characters, old characters. Just an overall great Metroid experience. If you like first-person shooters, but with a twist, this game is for you. As I've said before, Animal Crossing, it's on the list. Here we are, Animal Crossing City Folk, the Wii game of Animal Crossing, because you gotta have one per console. Alright. So, it's basically the exact same as the one on the DS, Wild World, but it adds this nice new city area, which you take a bus, which Kappa drives, because he's got to be included now, I like Kappa, that's not what I'm saying, but anyway, he drives you to the city, and there's multiple things you can do. You can shop, you can, there's a, fuck, what's the word? It's not bidding. I mean, you do bid, but auction. There's an auction house where you and your Wii people can sell stuff. You can actually play with other Wii people over the interwebs. You can, and then it's just the old classic Animal Crossing formula. So there you go. Up next is definitely one of the better Wii games. Definitely one of my favorite. Definitely one of the hardest. Donkey Kong Country Returns. They announced this and I was like, oh my god, nostalgia bomb all over, because Donkey Kong Country, of course, is a series on the Super Nintendo that is very well loved by the Nintendo Knights, which is the pet name I've given Nintendo fanboys, or fans in general. Anyway, moving on. It brings back that classic gameplay, even though it's not made by Rareware, and brings back the classic music. You can play it with another person playing as Diddy Kong, but it's a very challenging game. Brings back that difficulty full time. Gets really difficult about halfway through the game, and basically you just gotta have pixel perfect detection for jumps and dodging things, and you gotta just be at your, you know, your nerves gotta be on end. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what you're about to do. You gotta know what you just did to get through this game. But it's a very fun thing. It's not the kind of challenge like, oh, I'm pissed, I'm gonna quit and sell it and throw it out the door and burn it and, you know, give it to my Aunt Sarah because I don't like her. No, that's not the kind of game it is. It's one of those rewarding kind of challenging games, which is very satisfying once you beat the level. Not to say you won't rage a little, but you know what I'm saying. It's a very fun game, very challenging. If you like fun, if you like a challenge, Donkey Kong Country, any of these things, it's definitely worth a try. And here we are, one of the bigger Wii games, one of the last big Wii games, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Larry, why'd you choose this over Twilight Princess? Because Twilight Princess is a GameCube game that was ported to the Wii, alright? So, Skyward Sword is the first game to truly utilize the Wii's motion controls in a way that works and isn't frustrating. One of the few games to do so. And it works really well in the game. It makes the game more enjoyable. You know, you gotta... normal enemies are now more challenging because they'll dodge your attack, and you gotta think of a different way to slash at them. You gotta use your nunchuck for shield things. You can fly the bird, catch bugs, go beat the bad guy and save Zelda. It's got a new interesting story that's different enough to make it, you know, awesome. It's got the creation of all kinds of stuff. Just, I don't want to spoil. It's overall awesome game. It controls great, new innovative things to do with the controls. All kinds of new Zelda things that introduce a new level of gameplay. Just overall a great game, great experience. Definitely a step in the right direction for Zelda. I hope that they build upon this for the next game in the series. So, moving on. Now, I had two Mario games to choose from, and that was Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2. As for the main, you know, series releases like Mario 64 and Sunshine. And I had to choose Galaxy 2 because it's got Yoshi. That's basically what it boils down to. I like each one really well. I might actually even like 1 better than 2, but 2 just has so many great things that just kind of give it that edge to make it on my list here. First of all, yes, it has Yoshi. You can play as Luigi too, but you could do that in the first one. It's got this nice little hub part, not as big as the one in the original, but you know, it increases the difficulty, which is very nice. There's a lot more challenge to the levels. And the best part is it brings back some classic music, and a throwback level, which is Thwomp's Fortress from Mario 64, which is just nostalgia all over the place. And I'm a nostalgia whore, so that definitely ups it up, you know. Just overall great game. If you like Mario games, you know, it's the Galaxy franchises are definitely really great ones in the series, because you got all the, you know, gravity stuff and all the new power-ups, which some new ones were added in Galaxy 2, and just overall great game. So yeah. Now, next on the list, maybe it didn't make some people's top 10, but I really liked Sonic Colors on the Wii. It was definitely the best Sonic game in years, you know. It was better than Unleashed, it was better than that other Sonic game, you know, the one. It was definitely better than Sonic 06. But it kind of takes the Unleashed idea and improves upon it, you know, and adds these nice new power-ups called Wisps, which you use to traverse the level. Usually not necessary, though. You don't have to use them on most of the levels, but it's a very pretty game. It's got great music as well. The voice acting is very much improved upon older Sonic games. What else? It's got that Unleashed kind of running deal, but it's also got 2D, a lot of 2D in it as well as for platforming and so on and so forth. There's some nice humor, but some of it may be too cheesy for your taste. I will warn you. Even I cringed at a few of the jokes, and that's bad because I have very dry humor. So, but anyway, it's a great Sonic game. If you've lost your faith in Sonic, you should definitely play this because it proves that he can still be a good character and have a good game. So. Next on my list is New Super Mario Brothers Wii, because it's not the DS one. But anyway, New Super Mario Brothers Wii is great for many reasons. Classic Mario gameplay, new Mario gameplay added to the classic Mario gameplay, and most of all, 4-player co-op. Now, the 4-player co-op ain't great in the fact that, oh, we can help each other out, beat the game as a family with friendship and power. No, it's great because you can just bug each other and like throw each other in the lava, or which happened once when me and some of my friends was playing it, or do stuff like that, because you bump into each other too. And this game has Yoshis, and Yoshis are awesome, but only in a select few levels. And it's got some challenge to it, but it's it's just overall a great party game, if that's the word. You can sit down with 4 of your friends, 2 of them having to be Toads, which sucked. It's like, why 2 Toads? Like, why not just 1 Toad and maybe Wario? I don't know. Who else? Like, someone, maybe Toadsworth would be even better than just 2 casual Toads. Like, do something. But you go to Save Peach, the Koopa Kids are back, which is nice. It's got the old Mario map and formula. Very great Mario game. If you enjoy the old games, especially Mario Brothers 3, you'll get a kick out of this one. Next on my list is a game called Punch-Out! And Punch-Out, if you don't know, is a game where you punch people in the face. You play as a character called Little Mac. Little Mac. My voice went weird there for a second. He's a very small guy, but a very great fighter. And he's trained by Big Mac, or otherwise known as, I forgot his name. He's the big black guy. He likes to eat chocolate. He stole his bike. Anyway, it's a boxing game. Behind the shoulder, 1 punch is with the left hand, 2 punches with the second hand. You can do star uppercuts if you dodge enough. You can dodge with the D-pad. It's a very simple game. It's a very challenging game. It's a very rewarding game. Like this game, you gotta memorize each opponent's, ticks. What they'll like each one has a specific thing they'll do before they hit you. So you can either dodge or hit them right before it, which is usually better. That's how I had to take down the final boss. It took me forever, but I managed to do it because instead of dodging him, I just hit him before he managed to hit me, which worked in my favor. But as I said, challenging, fun. It even has a multiplayer mode where you can fight someone else as another Big Mac, and you can go as another Little Mac. See, I said Big Mac because you can go into a Big Mac mode. You turn into this giant monster and you just dominate. So, a very fun game. Definitely one to try out. Last on my list, probably my favorite, Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I remember when my friend first showed me this trailer, we had to wait forever for it to load for some reason, but when it did, oh, when it did, I just nerdgasmed all over. But anyway, to get off the weird side, I love the Smash Brothers series. It's probably one of my favorite series. So, new characters, that's what I'm all about. Alright, I loved all the new characters. They announced fucking Solid Snake and Sonic and Kid Icarus, fucking Wario and King D, and just all these characters I wanted, and it's just and then all these new levels which are awesome. They introduce all kinds of new gameplay things. All this new music, which is awesome, remixes of classic songs, and it even included some melee levels like the undeniably awesome Corneria. And you can actually manipulate the music to what plays more, what plays less, what doesn't play at all, which is a nice feature. You can change the items around, all kinds of new modes, like you can have a battle where you're all metal and on Spitfire and have bunny hoods, and then it's got this new adventure mode called Subspace Emissary, which has awesome cutscenes and a neat little story, but the gameplay's kind of boring and repetitive. Like, it would have been better if it was just adventure mode from Melee with all these nice new cutscenes. Like, I would have enjoyed that better. And it's got a whole new aspect of, it's got some new things, like you can jump off people's heads if you need to give you that extra oomph. You can get Smash Balls, which give you this like ultimate power, like get Bowser turns into Giga Bowser, Mario shoots a Kamehameha, etc. And then you can collect stickers, which are useless more or less. Trophies are back. Of course, you gotta love the trophies. Nice little character or item pick trophies that tell you a little bit about them. That's really all I can think to say about it. It's an awesome game. Oh, the one thing I wish they didn't add, I don't know why they changed the physics around a bit in it, and it feels a lot heavier than Melee, and I don't think that was necessary, but, you know, whatever, it still plays good, it's still pretty fun. But they added this thing where you'll trip, I guess because people were wave dashing or something, I don't know, it's bullshit. It's so annoying, it's unnecessary, but anyway, take that out. But it's an awesome game, definitely worth playing if you're a fan of fighting games or games in general. And that will end my top 10 Wii game list. I don't feel like anything else will come out to challenge my list. If it does, I will, you know, put it in annotation, oh, this game's great, just to let whoever watches these know, like, oh, there's a nice Wii game out there, because not everyone thinks the Wii has games, which I guess it doesn't, I don't know. So, this is my first in the modern consoles. I probably won't do the others until it's about time for a new console for those as well. So no PS3 or Xbox 360 top 10 for a while yet. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As I've said before, you know, share with me some of your favorite games somehow. I like to get feedback. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, gave you some insight on some good games if you do have a Wii and don't hardly play it. These will definitely give it some, you know, make it worth blowing the dust off, you know. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.